I'm on the phone with Michael Bierman, Senior Product Manager, Web Tools and Technology at Nokia. Good afternoon, Michael, and thanks for agreeing to the interview. Hey, Michael, we're kicking off a Mobile Innovators Challenge here in California and here at the WOW organization for university, community college, and high school students. Some of these students already are experienced mobile application developers, and some are not. As a result, I'm reaching out to you at Nokia today to learn more and to introduce the WRT solution from Nokia to designers and developers alike. Michael, can you share with me the vision behind the WRT?
Sure. So WRT stands for Web Runtime, and the idea is to take common web technologies like CSS, JavaScript, HTML, HTML5, and so on, and integrate those with device APIs for things like accelerometer, location, contacts, calendar, and so on, and combine those into basically a first-class web development or I should say software development environment for mobile that doesn't require you to know native C++ or other software development languages, that you can leverage, just common web technologies. And part of the benefit of that is it opens the door to mobile development to a lot more people who maybe don't have the skills to do C++ or other, native software development.
Excellent. Two questions for you. One, can you cite the common available tools that you're referring to? Are you talking about a simple browser, internet access?
The software development tools, or?
You said that anybody could do this with simple resources. What resources are you referring to?
Oh, so they can do it with simple knowledge, and then the tools that we provide. For instance, we have a plugin for Eclipse users that is, kind of has a sister plugin with Aptana Studio. So we have a solution built around Eclipse for people who like Eclipse. We have, for people maybe more on the design side, perhaps, we have Adobe Dreamweaver extension. So we have, and all the features are the same essentially through the three tools, but we try to reach a slightly different crowd. And then the third one is Visual Studio, which might be more for either the hardcore, IT kind of person or somebody who's got .NET background. Whatever. And the idea is that whatever tool you're used to, you can not only use the web technologies that you develop with every day as a web developer or web designer, but you can also use the tools that you're most comfortable with. And hopefully that helps you be productive right from the gate, and you can make some really great apps without a lot of effort.
I appreciate that. Well said. And so, but I just want to hone in on, let's say for the teachers that don't have access to a lot of these tools already, could they download the WRT web runtime resource from your website using simple internet and a web browser?
Yeah, so the Eclipse tool, which is it's a WRT plugin for Aptana Studio, is free. And so that's a download that they can get. There's links to it from Phone Nokia, and you can also go to aptana.org and download the tool from there. The Dreamweaver, obviously you have to have Dreamweaver, but our tool is free, and a lot of students get special academic pricing for Adobe products. And then Visual Studio, again, also has some great academic programs, and our plugin is free there as well. So depending on whatever tool they happen to maybe already have and know, we try to be wherever they are rather than telling them to come get something from us.
Okay, great. So anybody could do this. High school student with some limited resources, limited tools, can participate and create a mobile application for a small business and have it available on their desktop.
Sure. The solution that we offer has not only a tool for writing the code, but for testing it and for previewing it. And then if you have a device handy, you can actually deploy directly from the tool to the device, so you can actually test it on a real device if you have one handy. If you don't, Form Nokia has some virtual services that you can use to kind of run the application on an actual device remotely. If our simulator doesn't suit you, you can always do that, and that's free as well.
Excellent. Well said. Okay, where would they go to get that resource or those series of resources?
So they're all found on Phone Nokia. I think some of the links, I sent you in an email, so you can probably post them along with this. And the testing resource I just mentioned is called Remote Device Access. If they just search on Phone Nokia, they can find it that way.
Okay. Any parting comments or advice?
So, again, it's an opportunity for web developers and designers to make effectively real, what we like to call real applications. They're just as robust as native applications. using the skills and knowledge that they have from web development. And it's a great way to get their feet wet with mobile development and make a lot of stuff that's really easy to do. And, when I say really easy, it doesn't mean that web development is ever totally easy, right? That's why they're professionals. But it's easy in the sense that they don't have to learn a whole lot that's unique to mobile. They can leverage what they know as being, learning to be experts, or if they are experts on web development, they can turn that skill towards mobile. And these apps are installed just like a native app, and to the user, it's pretty transparent whether it's native or web. So it's kind of a neat opportunity, I think, to get on. Nokia has over 40 devices, and our Symbian partners have, I don't even know how many devices that are also compatible with the same web runtime. So one other point to keep in mind is, 5 or 10 years ago, you could maybe even make a small fortune if you're a good web developer or web designer. And nowadays, some of that is automated, and some of that work has just become so commoditized that, the new sort of frontier, I think, is mobile development in general, and in the case of web runtime, it offers you the opportunity to take web skills and apply them to mobile software development. And that opens a whole new set of jobs and potentially, higher salaries than just desktop web development, because you can claim, special knowledge. And for now, it's a little bit more a rare thing. But it's, again, all based on open technologies, HTML and CSS, the things that you're probably learning in the desktop arena anyway, and you can apply it to a new market, which makes you a more marketable candidate if you go out looking for a job.
Yeah, very well said, Michael. I certainly appreciate that. Let me recap, if I could, for those teachers and students out there that are not as familiar with these topics as we are. First of all, mobile application development is a very hot topic. You just said that. Jobs exist. As a high school teacher or student, you can actually go out and download some free resources right now from your desktop with a simple browser and an internet access, and start creating your mobile application today. Also, if you're a little bit more sophisticated and you have the resources and you have perhaps the ability to download some of the other products like Dreamweaver and et cetera, you can actually build a more enhanced mobile application. Would that be a fair summary, Michael?
Products that we offer all can do the same task. So it doesn't stop you from writing, it doesn't mean just because you're using Dreamweaver that you can only write certain apps. The idea of the tools we selected to support is really to appeal to a broad audience of web developers and designers that tend to favor different products by their design and they're custom tailored to those audiences. So, for example, Dreamweaver really tends to focus on the creative designer, somebody who's going to maybe put Flash into a website and maybe wants a quick tool to lay out multiple columns and so on, and makes those tasks. Whereas the Studio product is a little bit more sophisticated by its nature and appeals to maybe more of a JavaScript kind of person, or somebody who's really into CSS coding by hand. It's a little bit less WYSIWYG, but has features that appeal to those kinds of developers. And so what we're trying to do by selecting those products for including our support is to enable different types of developers and designers to step up to the technology as they see fit in an environment they're comfortable with. Without having to learn a whole new tool. It's something that they probably have on their desk if they're doing web development. They'll have a tool or some tool very much like it, and the additional effort required to get started is either nothing or next to nothing. That's why we chose those 3 tools right now to support, and the idea is to remove any barriers to entry and make it really easy. If you have web skills, then you probably can at least start the process of writing a web app and not have a big, humongous learning curve ahead of you. Whereas if you first sit down to write a C++ or native application, you might spend, a year studying how to do it and be very frustrated. So, it's a great way to get started. And who knows, maybe down the way you decide that you not only want to learn the web, you want to move over and do native development. And that could be a way to get into just mobile in general. It could be, entice you, and maybe when you go to college, if you're in high school, it's inspiration to move on to another kind of software development.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your perspective, your support, and time today, Mike.
Sure, you bet. It's a pleasure.